The year is 1959. International wants to build a robust off-road machine, sort of like the Jeep, but beefier. I don't want to say more capable, but this is what the Jeep looked like in 1959, and this is what the International Scout looked like when it made its debut in 1961. To power the Scout, International would use all kinds of different power plants. Some they made, some they would source from other engine manufacturers such as AMC. International wanted to use a 4-cylinder as their base engine option. Problem was, they did not have a 4-cylinder on the menu at this point in time. Looking around at all of the other tasty options to buy, like the Austin A55, 90.8 cubic inch displacement, 1.5 liter. It's the same engine used in the Metropolitan. They also looked into engine suppliers such as Wisconsin, Continental, Hercules, but after looking at what everybody else had to offer, International set off to build their own inline 4-cylinder, which is insanely expensive when starting from nothing. The International 4-cylinder, which would be called the Comanche, drew inspiration from Pontiac, who took their 389 V8 and used one bank of cylinders to make slant 4. International would cut half of one of their existing V8s, which was the 304 V8. They would cut it in half and use the left bank of cylinders, making it 152 cubic inch displacement slant 4. Because it was half of the 304 V8, most parts are interchangeable. 152 cubic inch displacement overhead valve, slant 4, 2.5 liters. It's good for anywhere between 90 to 111 horsepower. The 111 horsepower figure was the turbo version at 4,400 RPM, 143 pound-feet, or 193 newton meters at 3,200 RPM. With a bore of 3.88 inches and a stroke of 3.22 inches, compression is 8.1 to 1. This engine has a weight of 500 pounds. Years this engine was used was between 1960 through 1968. The turbo model was offered in 1965. The turbo model was supplied from Thompson, same guys who did the turbo for the Corvair Monza. After eating their Wheaties in 1966, the Comanche grew and was now half the size of International's 392 V8. It's worth mentioning International had intentions of building 2 other slant 4s. They were going to do a 133 cubic inch displacement, which was half of their 266 V8, as well as a 173, which was half of their 345, but both of those engines were rejected for one reason or another. 196 cubic inch displacement overhead valve, slant 4, 3.2 liters. It's good for anywhere between 100 to 111 horsepower at 4,400 RPM, up to 180 pound-feet, or 244 newton meters at 3,200 RPM, with a bore of 4.135 inches and a stroke of 3.656 inches. Compression is 8.19 to 1. Years this engine was used was between 1966 through 1972. It was dropped for 73, but it was back in 1975 through 1980. This engine weighs about 550 pounds. In 1980, International would ditch passenger car sales in favor of just focusing on their commercial line of trucks and school buses. All right, now it's time for Would You Rather. If you could have any one of these with the Comanche 4, which one would you rather have? 1961 International Scout or 1965 International Scout Turbo or 1975 International Scout 2. I'm going to leave this here for a minute. If you need more time, feel free, pause the video. Now it's time for Name That Tune. First person to get both the name of the band and the song title correctly in the comment section will have their comment pinned to the top of it. Thank you all so much for coming out and watching this. Huge thank you to 61 Rampy 65 for giving me a lot of this information on these engines. Very much appreciated. If you'd like to get in touch with me, shoot me a comment in the comment section below or send me an email at what_it's_like@yahoo.com. Thanks again for everything. Thank you so much for the input in the comment section. It's one of my favorite things of this channel / community. Until next time, toodaloo!